Welcome, Carm Capriato, the Service Aftermarkets Podcast Pioneer, with the gold standard of aftermarket business podcasts. Join me for Aftermarket Insights as we advance the aftermarket. And as always, know that you'll learn just one thing. Find us on your favorite podcast listening app and remarkableresults.biz or on my YouTube channel. Hey everybody, Carm Capriato, Remarkable Results Radio. We're in Amelia Island, Florida, near Jacksonville. What a beautiful resort. We're here at the Institute's Summit. We are theinstitute.com. I can't even quite come up with the word because I've had a chance to listen to many of the keynote speakers and be involved with tons of friends, meeting a lot of new people. This is what I do for a living, and it's just great to be here and hanging around. So thank you so much for the Institute for having us here. Hopefully all the great content that we're going to send out are going to change people's lives. I want to thank so much the great sponsors that we have on the show. Hey, Carm here, and I hope to see you at the 22nd Annual TST Big Event, Saturday, March 29th, 2025. This very comprehensive one-day seminar will feature trainers Bill Weaver from NAPA Auto Tech Training, Josh Weaver from Dorman Training, and Eric Ziegler from WTI. This all-day event will be at the Westchester Marriott in Tarryton, New York. Sign up at tstseminars.org. I'll be there, and I'm going to present the keynote, The Rise of the Mechanical and Technology Specialist. Great education, breakfast and lunch, and a ton of learning. tstseminars.org, Saturday, March 29th, 2025. NAPA is focused on the now, a national ownership workshop for our valued auto care members centered around business building training from industry leaders. This is a can't-miss event as we celebrate the past 100 years while looking ahead to the next 100. Hey, let's face it, your shop management system is the most critical tool in your shop, and NAPA Tracks will move your shop into the SMS fast lane with on-site training, 6 days a week support, and local representation. Find NAPA Tracks on the web at napatracs.com. Also, thanks to AftermarketManagementNetwork.com for information that can help you move your business ahead, and for the free and informative LaborRateTracker.com. I'm here now with Parker Branch. Hi, Parker.
Hello, Carm. Glad to be here.
So here's the story. We just came out of a keynote speech from Dr. Jessica Kriegel. And we were both extremely motivated by her story on changing culture and building culture and creating culture. Can you go back to the shop and take all this stuff with you, Parker?
I can't wait to try. Some great ideas on, culture's very important to us at our shop, and as it is to so many people. But sometimes knowing how we can have a positive impact on that, how to get the message to the people, how to set the expectation, and what great ideas she brought.
It was kind of a blueprint, wasn't it?
It was really good.
Yeah, here's these 3 things you have to do to make it work. Now, it's a heavy lift.
Seemingly simple when she delivered it.
Yeah.
But going to be some strategy and some help to get it in. Boss is coming back from another convention. Oh boy, what is it going to be this time?
You know what? I never have a chance to thank Tracy for all that she does. I mean, every time I open my mic, I need to say thank you to Tracy for all the things. Let me see. Getting you here a little later because we wanted to stay and listen to Dr. Kriegel, all the mic adjustments, and all the great production. And Tracy, thank you. Where was I? The heavy lift. I was just to go back and have your people. Oh, I know what it was. I've told this to Tracy how many times, and I've said it on the phone. I come back when I own my business. I come back for the conference. Even when I worked in corporate America, they sent Carm away to a leadership school or something, and we're going to have to change. And what I did wrong, Parker, is I came back and I said, "This is what we're going to do." I made this huge mistake, but I was young and maybe dumb, and I was trying my ass off, but I didn't really have any of the magic. But I think back then, the leadership books were just starting to be written in the 90s, right? I forgot to sell. I was out telling, and I wasn't selling, and I wasn't engaging. By sitting down with some of my leadership group and say, "Listen, I got to tell you guys, I just came back. Let me tell you what I learned."
The storytelling.
Yeah, exactly. And when you teach, you learn. And they need to give you feedback. Actually, what you're doing is you're selling for, buy-in and engagement. And I'm sure that's exactly what you'll do when you get back.
Absolutely. Those thoughts were going through my mind as I was listening to Dr. Kriegel about the storytelling. And we're all real good at going back and telling the story. I'm going to figure out some resources to try to get some more buy-in, to show them, to align their beliefs with what we've learned and take it back. Hey, crew, this is what I learned and we're going to do this. No, I'm going to take it back and listen to what I saw and witnessed and learned. And what do you guys think of this?
By the way, who's Parker Branch? Just never, I never even introduced him. Here it is. We jump right into this. Branch Automotive, Littleton, Colorado, a diesel shop.
Yes, sir. 15 years in business in Highlands Ranch. Was a GM dealership technician for many, many years before that, and also a one-on-one coach for the Institute in my spare time.
Are you on fire? Your business on fire?
It's going well. We've had a lot of growth. We acquired some additional space for our one location last year, and that led to 27% growth last year. It was great.
Are you empowering your people so that you can go out and be a coach and be here?
I'm really trying to.
But it's working. Obviously, Parker, you probably should pat yourself somewhere on the back and say, hey, I'm learning so much. And part of this whole culture thing that we learned this morning is, are they going to do the things that really matter to the business when, obviously they're going to watch what you do and mimic you, but they understand the plan. They believe in the plan. So you don't have to micromanage people if the culture is right to do what needs to be done to serve.
Yeah, and I believe that we have created some of that culture. I feel good about it. And if I was going to reach over somewhere to make a pat on the back, it would be to my manager, Daniel.
High fives, Daniel.
Yep. He's learned a lot by, immersion, being with me day to day for years and years. And then just giving him, free reign. We talk about everything. We have weekly meetings together. And then he goes and does his thing.
So cool. Hey, are you doing more than your competition?
As far as?
Anything.
I hope so.
Okay. I mean, did you ever really study that and say, what we've got to do this bigger, better?
We try hard to embrace the difficult repairs. And in the diesel business, lately, emissions systems are very complex and can be very difficult to repair. And we've embraced them. And we do see even our competition in the Denver market will sometimes send us those vehicles that they don't want to or are not able to take care of.
So you're doing the hard work.
I hope so.
Okay, just because Parker has a diesel shop doesn't mean that if you work on ICE engines, you shouldn't listen to this because, of course, we're a business leadership podcast advancing the industry. And if you can listen to learn just one thing. It was Jimmy who said it the other day, that one thing from Carm, you got to take one thing away. And that was the key for me, that if you're listening to this, there's insights, there's great ideas that you're getting. Your mind is, sometimes people listen to my podcast and they don't even hear the words for the last minute because they're out daydreaming on, oh my God, that's a great idea. And how can I implement it?
I'm there with you. I've listened to you and you give me a nugget or a point is taken from one of your guests and the next thing you know, I'm off and thought, how can I take action on
Exactly
this?
right. Well,
wow, I love that. What am I going to do with it? Or how can I share it with my team?
Gems.
Yes. Nuggets, we call them.
Nuggets. Any regrets for something that you just didn't do that you'd love to go back and redo?
I don't know if it's a regret, but I'm happy to have learned maybe in the last year or two, something that our last speaker even shared is when something's not going the way I want it to or in the direction I would like it to, how am I responsible for that? Like I try to take a lot more accountability. I've shared that with Daniel. We now, when we have a challenge, we look at ourselves first. Have I empowered my people? Have I educated them? Have I set an expectation so that they understand how to get there?
So before you get in front of your people to discuss anything, you're really self-assessing yourself.
Yes, sir.
Before you get in front of your people, are you reassessing yourself? I mean, I said that twice because that's so important to get up there and ask your people to do this when you don't demonstrate the same.
100%. And we have to figure out what responsibility we have, what's coming from us. In any relationship, the people that we're speaking with are trying to inspire. They can read what's going on with us and our emotions. So we have to take accountability ourselves and be willing to try to improve. Vulnerability, share with them. Hey, I realized, Carm, that I may not have given you the tools or empowerment to achieve this. And I'm sorry for that. And let's get better together.
I know, Parker, the last time you actually were on August of maybe a year ago or.
Sometime this last year.
Yeah. And we had such a great interview. I went back and I looked at the talking points from that. Huddles, service advisor, I think, reviews or at least a couple of times a day.
We interview a couple times a day, make sure we're holding each other accountable.
Yeah. Are we on track? What's going on with the clients? What do you hear? What do you know? That storytelling piece. I mean, think about the huddle. Hey, something cool that happened in the last week or yesterday to you. And have people tell stories. And if it aligns with the culture, you got a home run.
Oh, and I have to tell you, when Daniel, my manager, approaches service advisors, he does like an 11 a.m. visit, and then again in the afternoons around 3. Not micromanaging, just, hey, what I wanted to say is...
Let's get on record, right?
He says, tell me a story.
No kidding. He's doing that?
That is his line. That is what he says. Tell me a story. And I eat it up because, and then we're sitting in there and she's talking about storytelling, and, we lead a lot of our meetings by storytelling to then try to, get where we're trying to get.
One of the things I remember is how lean is important to you. Does lean continue to be a high strategy for you?
I mean, we have to be aware of it so that we're sustainable.
Lean is really, for everyone out there who doesn't know, it's that Six Sigma thing where you're just trying to do everything with the least amount of steps. The greatest story about lean that I ever heard was my friend Jim Fleshman. He's an observer. He walks around his shop. He does all kinds of things, puts timers on every lift and all that stuff. And he said to me, Carm, he says, I'm watching our guys go walk to the other end of the shop to get a battery charger. So I bought 2 more and I put a charger in every bay.
Nice.
Think about the steps saved. But then while it's there and it's in your environment, you know what that's used for and why.
That's a good example of how you can stay lean.
Yeah, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Your client, they're spending a big ARO with you typically.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are a light duty diesel pickup truck specialist. So any domestic diesels. So a lot of us know those repairs do tend to be more expensive. So it does drive a larger average repair order.
What's the group doing to build trust with them?
Internally from my team?
Yeah.
Digital vehicle inspections, making sure that, one of the conversations we just had, Daniel and I, since we've been here, because, it's nice to get away and think and reflect. And there was some discussion about canned findings and canned responses or recommendations. Yeah, with the DVI process, so much focus is on streamlining and making it quicker and for the technicians. And we reflected a little bit this week and thought, we might actually go back and talk to the team some of what we just learned now, trying to inspire some culture change with respect to the DVIs, and we might put more detail that's specific to each vehicle. Ask the guys to use their speech to text and tell the story a little better than, just as a blank example, we have a line for windshield and there's a canned, finding. Windshield's cracked. Suggest replacement of windshield. Well, the customer didn't need to hear that. That has no value to them, telling the story. Like, they know it's cracked. They know the thing to do is put a new one in. So maybe, that could be a tough example for getting more into it. But if we're talking about brakes or some check engine light issue that created a problem, getting into some of the detail, telling a story to help the average customer who doesn't know about this engine and what an EGR valve is or, whatever it is, give them some explanation of what it is, how it works, why does this matter, and why we suggest to take what repair method. So, we're going to have to work a little bit more, but the value that we create by doing that, it will be so much better. And then the customer has trust, transparency.
It's a great point. There's a lot of shops that are taking the technician or specialist's paragraph, throwing it into AI, and it's coming back and they say, wow, it's the same stuff, but it's just a little nicer, a little friendlier, and they're putting it back into the DVI.
Sure. And I think you need to watch that too, because I've seen some of my guys use the AI to tune up their stories. And a little bit of what came out was, I drove the vehicle into the stall and picked it up and verified what the customer said. And so it was like, well.
Yeah, it's almost too robotic.
Correct.
I just read something, Tracy Parker, that there's this movement out there that says that they want to make the AI voices that come back to you, that people can read it back to you, sound like computers. only because it is almost too real and you'll never know. I mean, sometimes you can see a fake AI picture.
So that you could differentiate if this was AI generated or not.
I mean, even if you had to put the word, I find this AI thing off the charts, by the way.
Yeah.
I think it's changing every day. First of all, I think there's room and usage for it in our industry. But to rely on it, to your point, if it comes back and sounds too grammar schoolish.
Or robotic.
Yeah. I mean, we've done episodes on this, and I want to continue to stay very close to this AI thing. So if you're listening and you've got an opinion or some kind of great experience using AI, please, carm@remarkableresults.biz. Love to hear from you. Now, you're out doing a one-on-one coach.
Correct. Yeah. I have 8 clients right now.
8 clients. Fabulous. Biggest struggle that's going on right now that you're hearing about?
Obviously, the same thing we all know is attracting and retaining help.
Okay. Those are the 2 biggest things today. Biggest.
Absolutely.
Is retention and recruitment. Of both of those, what's the biggest? What would be just above the line? Retention?
No, I think trying to acquire the talent is probably the most difficult.
But you need to acquire. Is it you're acquiring for growth, or are you acquiring because you lost somebody?
I see some of both. So in some of the clients that I'm working with are typically clients that have been in business maybe only a year or 2, and they're starting to recognize their weaknesses. A lot of them might have come and listened to your podcast and they got the idea, I need some help, and come to some coaching company, in this case, the Institute with me. And so they're trying to figure out how to grow, how to become more profitable, and it might be them and one person. So it's more of a growth in that situation. But then, on the flip side of the coin, I'm still operating Branch Automotive, and same thing. We've had some growth, but we've also had some talent leave, and it becomes top of mind. Like, how can I make sure that I'm doing a good job of creating a culture that these people want to stay with us?
Got it.
As well as how am I going to grow?
Why are they leaving?
I've had one person leave, knock on wood, well, I hope it stays that way. Technician that was with me for 9 years. And he just decided, I'm a little bit tired of the ups and downs. His particular situation, he was offered a job by the electric company, and he had, grand ideas of how he would sit around drinking coffee and telling stories and still getting paid. And I've talked to him a little bit since, and there's definitely been a little bit of
whoops.
Yeah, not sure. And
a whoops moment.
Yeah, he was a great employee. Really loved the guy, and he knows the door's still open. So if he changed his mind, we've even reached back out to him. But the grass isn't always greener.
In your last 15 years, did you ever let someone go that was really toxic?
Absolutely.
Tell us about it.
Not a lot, but there have been a couple. I definitely had a service advisor a few years ago. It was my strongest advisor. We were in a good place sales-wise and so forth. He was wonderful with customers, really good. He had a following, but internal to the company, he was extremely abrasive and made people feel uncomfortable, even myself sometimes. And eventually it just became so much of an issue, that feeling. I think Dr. Kriegel talked about that. If you have that little thought in the back of the mind or uncomfortable, thing going on in your mind about a situation or a person, you need to address it. And we actually had one technician that was thinking of leaving as a result of how abrasive that behavior was. And when I did let that individual go, overall, it was awesome.
The whole place went up.
It was so much better.
Yeah.
People were happier. More people that I didn't realize he was rubbing wrong came to me. Thank you.
Parker, what does it take to listen to your intuition, to observe, and know I got to do something?
Yeah.
What does it take?
I mean, I have a little bit of intuition now, situations that, this week was a good reminder. Hey, you need to go home and address
all the right reasons to go to a conference and be involved in networking.
Well, how many? I mean, probably all of us, people listening, us here in the room today, we'll have those intuitions at time, and it may not be convenient to listen to them or take action. But then when we do, we generally, in my experience, almost always, thank God I finally listened and took action on that. We're in a better place now.
Thank you for saying confession. The NAPA Now event is a national ownership workshop for our valued AutoCare members, centered around business building training from industry leaders. Now, it's not just about owning a shop, it's about owning your future. Join NAPA April 15th through the 17th, 2025 at the Venetian Resort in the heart of Las Vegas, known for its vibrancy, energy, and entrepreneurial spirit. At the event, Ignite growth through business building masterclasses from leaders across multiple industries focused on expanding business opportunities. Now, masterclass topics include future-proofing your business, mastering emerging technologies for growth, leadership dynamics, inspiring, engaging, and driving success, shifting tides, understanding evolving consumer behaviors and your bottom line, and young leaders' lasting legacies, mastering succession planning for future growth. Foster collaboration with other like-minded NAPA AutoCare members and store owners. Stop at supplier studios for training, visit AutoCare vendor partners, and finally, join us in celebrating 100 years of NAPA Auto Parts, along with kicking off the next 100 years of partnership. There will also be exclusive giveaways. There are many incentive opportunities to offset the cost of this trip, including AutoCare program earnbacks, and beginning in October, earn up to $1,500 with pre-show supplier training to prepare for the supplier studio training sessions. The NAPA Now event is a national ownership workshop for our valued AutoCare members centered around business building training from industry leaders. Now, it's not just about owning a shop, it's about owning your future. Join NAPA April 15th through the 17th, 2025 at the Venetian Resort in the heart of Las Vegas, known for its vibrancy, energy, and entrepreneurial spirit. Get ready to grow, connect, and celebrate. This is an exclusive event limited to the first 2,000 AutoCare members. Packages are going fast. If you're interested in attending, contact your servicing NAPA store or NAPA salesperson. Hey, let's face it, your shop management system is the single most important tool in your shop, period. NAPA Trax has made selecting the right shop management system easy by offering the industry's best, most comprehensive SMS. Now, it all starts when a local representative meets with you to learn about your business and how you need to run it. After all, it's your shop, so it's your choice, and having local representation is a huge plus. Customizing Trax to your business, whether you're a one-person shop or a large multi-bay or multi-location company, a representative consults with you to help optimize your shop's workflow, efficiency, and profitability. Trax always has the flexibility to do business how you need to do it, which means it can also grow as your business grows. And unlike the other guys, we'll be there for you after installation with the best training and support in the business. Yes, a learning management system tailored to each role in your company. Simply put, Trax was designed and built for shop owners just like you. Visit us on the web at NAPATrax, that's NAPATRACS.com. Hey, ever wonder how your labor rate compares to your market and state? You now have a site where you can confidentially upload your rate and see other labor rates published in your market. LaborRateTracker.com is an important site to know about. Currently, the database has over 1,000 shops participating and growing every day. But there's more to setting your rates than finding out what others charge. You should look at the labor rates in your state and town to gain a complete picture of the labor rate landscape. Hey, it's easy. Get market intelligence like never before at LaborRateTracker.com. Are you overwhelmed? We're only, I don't know if you've been here for 3 or 2, or we have one more day to go. And there's so much incoming. We're taking a lot of notes. We're hearing a lot of people. You can't do everything. But the story is if you don't do something with what you came back with within at least 30 days and hold your own personal self accountable, you just wasted your time and money.
Absolutely. And it was discussed in that last get together that you need to take action within 3 days.
Yeah, that's right. It was 3 days.
Yeah.
Get off your, oh, right. I'm going to go back, sleep for a day.
Yeah.
And then I only have 2 left.
Yeah, exactly. And so the notebook needs to be opened up Monday back at the shop.
Wow.
And I'm going to go through there and pick, 1 or 2 things to start with. They're going on my to-do list and I want to take action.
Cool. What are you going to go back and do first?
Have a meeting with Daniel and we're going to plan how we can take some of what we just learned in this last session with Dr. Kriegel about the culture and presenting it to our people differently. We're aware of it. In the past, we've done storytelling and so forth, but I think there's some more questions that she taught us to ask to get our people engaged.
It was a very easy and simple 3-step process to make culture work. To her point in the beginning, and I love to talk about culture. It's, you know what I mean?
It's
one of those, it's uncomfortable. It's soft. It's emotional. Did I say mushy? And people, I don't need culture. We are the culture. We're badass.
Yeah.
No, it's
That's
not.
not who the people that are coming into the industry. They are not that person.
It's like, so you like working there? Oh, yeah, it's a great place. We're all happy. You know, Fridays they do lunch.
Yeah.
But you still never get accomplished in the business, even though people love lunch on Fridays.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you're hitting your results.
Sure.
So anyway, I know I'm only going to get 20 minutes with Dr. Kriegel when she comes in and we do this episode. Please listen to it because I'm going to zero in on one particular section that she talked about. And hopefully she's willing to go there with us and just give us 20 minutes on this. And we'll find out in her episode. We'll talk about how you can get in touch and see her stuff.
Can't wait to hear that.
Yeah. And Dan Clark was here and I interviewed Dan Clark.
And I'm going to go home and listen to that.
When it releases, it may not release like right away. It could come out in 3 weeks or so. But
what a humble and amazing guy. My wife is here, Celeste. She went up and spoke to him after.
Yeah.
And he welcomed her to ask some questions about her challenges with her salon and so forth and dealing with people. And he was like, absolutely. Let's talk about this. Call me. Let's get on the phone. Let's trade emails. What a neat guy.
He was so open. Tracy and I, at the end of the episode, I'll give everyone a hint as to what happened. He asked us, where are you from? And we said, Buffalo. And he says, go Bills, right?
Yes.
And he starts telling us how often he spoke to the Bills group, and he's going down the list of all of our Hall of Famers that he's met and known.
But we got to let the public know that Parker Branch grew up just outside of Buffalo, New York as well. So go Bills. And I grew up in the days of, Marv Levy and
oh my God, yes.
Jim Kelly and the whole crew.
God, yeah. So we've been out for a long trip. This is the longest conference trip Tracy and I have been away from the office and or home, right? And wherever we go, where are you from? Go Bills. Oh, by the way, didn't he win last night?
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
Yeah, I caught just a glimpse of that, and I was really excited.
I wished I would have seen it, but I did see it on, I don't know if it was a newsreel this morning or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's what I just caught the newsreel last night.
So Dan Clark's a Bills fan. Dan Clark's a Bills fan. He goes, anytime you want to do another episode, just let us know. That was our coin. That was our little chip to get in.
There's a little payoff for us being Buffalo Bills fans.
And that's what it's been since we've left. I don't mean to degrade from our great discussion, but it's always fun to, obviously, listen, to all my friends, my dear friends in Kansas City. And how many times we've had to send chicken wings over to Sherry Hamilton? A lot. We spent a ton of money on buffalo wings. I think I've told this story before, but we never communicated with Sherry and her great team from Milwaukee and Vision on the game that the Bills won.
Nah.
Early in
the
the
season. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, when we go to Vision, because we'll be there, half of our crew with you.
Cool.
We're going to talk to her about that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. So all of a sudden the next day, Tracy gets an email from Sherry and says, the barbecue is coming.
Oh.
Yeah, Jack Stacks. And
did you get the payoff?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Nice.
Yeah. And then on the wing part, listen, we send wings from a great restaurant in town that does ship out, and they're frozen, and they have to either thaw them and bake them or do whatever they have to do. But I don't know. I think we're going on our 5th batch now or something like that. I don't
this is going to have to stop.
Yeah, I mean, to the point is, I think it's 5-1 right now over the Super Bowls.
Next year is our year. Next year is our year.
Yeah, and how about that rumor about the color of the Super Bowl logo?
Not aware of it yet.
Oh. Look at the colors of the Super Bowl. Is it 59? Yeah, Super Bowl 59. Look at the colors.
I'll check it out.
They're the Chiefs' colors.
Oh. And what colors are the officials wearing?
I don't know. Oh, my God. We digress big time now. Let's not have that discussion.
Yep.
Let's talk
Back to the industry.
Let's get into coaching. Is productivity a big issue with your clients?
With all of us, absolutely. And I think some of the level of, technology and difficulty can create some issues in that, trying to have them, managing their time, getting through these issues and stuff. So we all have to look at it and measure it. Obviously, labor inventory is what we have to sell and time. And We want to make sure that the guys are proficient, we're efficient.
So what are you doing about it? What are the great ideas that people are sharing about improved productivity?
In those, so we're having quarterly performance evaluations. So each quarter we get away from the shop, Daniel and I, and sometimes even our lead technician, who's part of our management team, and we'll go sit down with each employee. And it's hey, Carm, how are things going? Like, how is your experience? What's getting in your way? Is there things that I could do to make it better? We're there to talk and listen and learn and try to help empower them figure out what their challenges are.
So it's a discovery moment.
It's a discussion.
It's a discussion and discovery. And every once in a while, guarantee you a nugget's going to come out.
We learn more by listening to them and giving them a chance to talk. We like to get away from the shop, away from the rest of the people so they feel comfortable. We start having lunch. There's an Olive Garden down the street. And when I walk in there, they're like, oh, hi, Mr. Branch, the usual.
Yeah, would you like those unlimited breadsticks in that big salad bowl?
So I abstain from the bread, but...
Oh, smart man. I wish I could.
But it's just great to...
I have to.
We get them, comfortable, and it's not, manipulative. It's like, let's just sit down and get comfortable and chat for a few minutes and then start talking about how's things going for you. And like you said, the nuggets come and we get ideas on how we can improve their experience, what's getting in your way. And it's kind of like that last seminar we just listened to. There's one train of thought where you get in there and work hard and force this to happen and we're going to make this thing change versus, hey, let's talk about this and see how I can help you. And, what do you actually believe and what's important to you that could help you do your job or feel good about your job?
What's the opposite of making change? Is it like morphing change? Is empowering change?
Inspiring, maybe?
Inspiring, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, our coaches talked a bit in the last round of Gear Performance Group meetings that, you can't pull motivation out of someone. The motivation comes from within and you can inspire those people, but you can't force anything to happen.
That goes back to culture.
Yeah.
It really does. And everybody focused on the results and how are we going to get there? What we believe is going to make a difference for us and the client. And one of the things that I just can't stop making sure is number one in everyone's mind is the people in the company, number one, the people, number two, the client.
Yeah, and one of the things that you just said kind of struck a nerve for me, focus on the results.
Yeah.
We, as shop owners and people in the industry, we go through seasons of our business, seasons of the industry. Mm-hmm. So we're at different places. We're trying to figure it out. Now I think I have it figured out. Now I need to grow. What am I going to do next?
This is huge, what you just said. The seasons of my business, and there aren't just 4. There could be
ongoing
50.
One of the saying that I picked, somebody, it's a biblical thing, but somebody said to me with respect to what we're doing and how things are going in the shop, whether it's good, bad, whatever, this too shall change.
This too shall change. Yeah.
So if you're on top of the wave, eventually you're going to be off the wave.
Yeah. I love, if you're listening to this, and Carm's going to talk a little bit about seasons of your business, and that really is describing don't get stuck. I'd love to get stuck in summer in Buffalo. I'd love to even fall, stay. But no, we get the snow. And it's an eventual thing that happens. And in your business, no matter how successful or even marginally unsuccessful or successful you are, you need to create through your vision, through where you want to get and how you want to get there, your seasonality of growth. And that means almost fall gets winter, but the snow comes a little bit at a time, and then it gets worse and it gets colder, and then spring shows up. Boom. It's not immediate, and it's an evolution of seasonal changes. So if you want to take your business, you want to go back and start working on processes.
Sure.
It's not going to happen tomorrow, but take that seasonality approach where we're going to get it, figure it out, implement it, watch it grow. Another season of maybe better culture move. Maybe we're going to review our technology and all the equipment that we have. And we're going to look at all the educational systems we bring into our people. And I guess if you think about all those things you have to work on and you think about this ongoing
smoothing that out.
Yeah. So this roller coaster of seasonality of the leader of the business moving his business forward.
Right. Not such abrupt changes, I think. by doing a lot of the right things, we can create some momentum that will smooth some of those seasonalities or seasonal changes so they're not so abrupt.
I was just going to say the word abrupt. I was just thinking of that. And I think that that's what holds some people back, Parker.
If we're reacting to things rather than...
I can't do this. It would shake my company up. No, it should be slow and eventual
100%.
Or methodically eventual. But get there. But you can't get there by dreaming it and wishing it and speaking it. It literally has to be, this is what we're going to do and why we're going to do it and when we're going to do it.
And your team picks up on that. So if you're reacting and letting it swing your behavior and mood abruptly.
By April, team, this is what we're doing. I love it.
Yeah. And this is what we can expect based on what we've seen in the past. And, if we're in a lull, we know that we can expect this. We're going to, carry our momentum right through there and we'll be right back up on top of the wave again.
All right. Parker Branch, Branch Automotive, Littleton, Colorado. Give me a great reason why you're so damn successful.
Commitment. I love being there every day, and I love fixing trucks and making people happy.
Man, that's it. Great summary. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks so much, Carm. And thank you, Tracy.